scale down to people that because I knew at the time, I couldn't even afford some of the items.
Well, I always say that, but there are things in here I don't buy. I can't afford it. I tell people, like, it's not for me.
You know, so we scaled down. COVID came. Please give me item for 1.5.
Yeah.
Let me make a match of 1.5 and try and push volume.
Yeah.
So I'll give you an example, like the designer boo-boos. How much were we making of the boo-boos? Like 2.5, I think, or something. Just push as many as you can. No, because everyone had buying boo-boos. Take a rest. Take a rest from it all. That's why it's good to have structure in your businesses, because it's not possible that every single member of staff alongside you will be going through a mental or disturbing period where I don't even know what's going on with me. When you have a good structure, your people, that's your team, they will hold the business from.
So you can actually take a moment without having to
interfere with anything going on in the store.
Yes.
But that's what you were talking about, micromanaging.
Yes.
Which we all need to learn how to do. Because we're now at the helm, right? We're the ones in charge, and you have to be able to allow your team to function without you.
You just have to.
Because if you tell members that, look, general manager, I'm taking the week off, there's justification. You deserve to take the week off. You worked 6 months for crying out loud. Take a week off and just go and regroup. I find that it even helps the team. Because when there's a problem with the head, it affects everyone. Whether you like it or not. You're grumpy, you're snapping, there's no creativity, there's no peace, there's no joy. By the time you're away, come back, they see a vibrant person, and before that, you guys just start all over again. And it can happen to them as well. Where when you notice one team member is going through something, like I always say to my staff, we don't have to be friends to work, but it makes it easier when we're friends. Then we understand how someone feels or why someone is the way they are. Take time off. COVID has taught us all. We don't need to be in the office all the time.
I mean,
everyone can actually, if you're honest to yourself and you're going to put in the work,
you will absolutely
take time.
Absolutely.
But I can assure you that period of people, I've said I'm even leaving. Leaving to where I don't know where I'm leaving to, but I've said I'm not doing it. But it happens. It happens. It really, really happens, and you have to be careful not to let it take all control of you.
But I think, Tessa, this is where these conversations are so important. I think, as individuals, and especially when like business owners, even friends, you know what I mean? When you get together, and sometimes I don't even necessarily think it's that you don't want to be honest with what you're going through. I think it's like you get together and you just feel like, I don't want to talk about that. Let's have fun, let's socialize, whatever. But I think it helps when you know that everybody goes through these seasons. Because for me, it's like you're going through that, but you just think, I don't know, there's just that sense of responsibility that I just can't, I have to just keep going, I have to keep going. But when you're talking to your peers and you create a space where you can sit down and really talk about the challenges, then you now find that, okay, I'm not the only one that's feeling like this. So it's actually okay for me to take a moment, for me to step back. I think it's important to have these conversations.
I have to remind you about, this was after I had China. China is 10 years now. So before I had China. You told me, you said to me, to be friends with someone, you don't have to see the person every day. You don't have to be with the person every day. You will still be friends.
I did?
You said that to me before I had Chana. I was pregnant with Chana. Chana is 10 now. So you can imagine when you said it. And from that point, I realized, yes, I have my close-knit people that I see every day. But when it comes to business, the most important things for me, and it's not the same for everyone, family, business, right? I have my people. One of the flaws I even have is I don't know how to, I'm such a social person or anything, but I don't know how to network with people. I'm telling you, that's the truth. So invite me to
I don't even understand. I could never think of that.
I will not be there. I don't know how to do it, but I'm learning. I have a close-knit group of people that I talk to offline, that I talk to at my lowest, just to check that I'm okay.
so important.
That is very important, and you need to know who those your people are. That's your go-to. These are people that have known you.
Yes.
People that will stand up and tell you, no, you are only feeling this way because of outside influences. You're only feeling this way because this is not you. People that really know you. I feel everyone actually knows who these people are, but people choose to escape from their reality by saying, I don't have anyone. You need people. You can't survive as an island. You cannot do it. If it's your husband, you talk to your husband. If you feel like when it comes to business, you will not talk to your husband because he's not business minded, then you have to find that friend, that mentor, that person that when you go to place, it is a safe place, because you have to also remind yourself. So if you have, if you're spiritually inclined and you have something that you need to pray about, you're not just going to meet your friend that just random and start exposing your stories to. You have your spiritual guide, you have your God, you talk to God directly, but then you have that person that understands.
It's important.
Does this temptation come to you? Does this happen to you? Blah, blah, blah. And you discuss it. Same way with business. Same way with family. I feel everything in life, there's just always an avenue. If it's right to say it, there's nothing prayer can't fix.
Oh, so please.
Nothing prayer can't fix. But people that don't even believe in prayer, right? For me, turn to that person that you look at and you think, I want to be like this person. I want to learn from this person. And then talk to the person. You can't open up your trade secrets to anyone. And you shouldn't. But there are always those good people. If you give good, you will get good. So you're giving off, you're helping people, you're mentoring people. There'll always be people that want to mentor you. People that want to see you win.
Absolutely.
So there has to be someone. You have to talk to people. You can't just do it on your own.
This is so important.
And like I said, every angle in life, there are people that I want to be with when I just want to have a good time and just socialize, because it will be pure fun. There are people that you just want to play with. There are people that you just want to talk about business with. There are people that you just want to eat with.
This is so.
We don't have to talk about anything. Let's just eat because we enjoy the food. This is how we enjoy it. We look at every detail and.
So, but this is how people get into trouble, not identifying the people that you should do those things with. If you can identify those people, your life will be easy.
Very easy. It's not one person. You may be lucky that one person covers everything. But, and again, someone will tell you that there are too many angles, too many.
To have one person.
If I have to have 100, I'll pursue it. Because I know that's the direction my head is at. I want you, you're here for me for this. Maybe you enjoy my company for something else, let me know. And that's where the honesty is, because we're too old to start creating new friendships or new acquaintances. Not to say you won't learn every day or you meet someone, but there has to be that person.
You nurture those relationships.
I divide mine
into nurture those relationships.
Family, business, social life, my spirituality. So it's four-pronged for me. If anything else comes, the travel buddy, fantastic. But then, for me, this four are very important.
Being able to say, okay, this person is for this.
Yeah.
Let's know. And I suppose it's a journey getting there.
Yes.
Because you would have made mistakes in the past.
Definitely.
That helps you
a lot.
So when you see certain, and I think that's so important. So when you see certain friendships, it's you just make assumptions, but there's been a journey there.
Yes.
You can't see and realize and just think, this is so
women.
important.
Women, I think women are problem.
And men,
left, right, and
But
women. But in it all, I find that they're always good people. You can't go through life thinking everyone is bad.
Absolutely.
Oh no, I can't do no. They're always good people.
Absolutely.
Give out good and you will receive good.
Absolutely.
And the right people will naturally fall into place in your life. Yes. There are a lot of relationships that have been redefined over.
This is it.
Over years. We started off as social friends. We ended up being the best spiritual people. You don't have to expose it to the whole world. But you in your own relationship will grow. You will grow. And these are the people that will help you when you have such times where I'm just going to shut down, I'm done, I'm tired, I'm not doing it. Not because no, just continue, continue. There's no need for you to. No, this person will tell you, let's travel, let's go somewhere, let's Let's go to Mio.
Yes, yes.
Just go and chill.
Yes.
And then by yourself, not having to say anything, it will all come back to you. They might throw in things from time to time. Oh, this is what, you went this way, you did X, Y, Z. You have to identify those people in your life. I think the first things first in life, just identify the people that are solidly for you. Solidly for you. Yeah.
Yes, this is so
I want you to win.
Yeah, I think this is so key though. This is so key, and I think it takes time for you to, you have to study people, study situations, and then you know what works for you. Don't
make yourself an island.
Yes. No, I think this is so important.
Yeah.
But that's something I'm trying to. My one is really purely out of. I think I'm quite lazy, to be honest. I think for me, that's what it is. Because I think what I've also realized too is you can't always just expect people to give. You also have to give. You have to give yourself to people. You can't always just expect people to just give themselves to you and then you don't want to make the effort. So I think I'm learning that, you have to put yourself out there. You must. And there's not just one particular way of, there's all kind, like this thing that you just said right now. You can go to a bar, you can go to lunch, you can, take a trip, there's so many different ways to interact with different people. So it doesn't become very tasking, because I think sometimes it can feel a bit tasking. But if you identify the people that identify how you want to interact with them, then you're able to make
you define it. There are people that just want to watch you and will sit down and let you cry. I think our society doesn't even allow for people to be weak.
It's so unfortunate because
for people to be weak, to acknowledge that I'm weak, I can't do it. Oh, someone to get up, motivational speakers, get up, you need to. No, I can't get up. I just can't get up. And the most successful of people have been weak. Absolutely. And they were allowed to be weak.
Absolutely.
I think we push ourselves too hard. Sometimes it's good to push yourself. So that at the times when you're weak, the work you've done will speak for you. But people need to be kind.
Listen.
Kind on yourself and kind to others. I'm down, just let me be down in peace. You don't know, let me be down in peace. It's okay. There's no need to compare. But she's doing so great. It's easy to say, I'll be honest with you. Because there are times I look, oh my goodness, Coco had this candle event, and I can, off the top of my head, if the candle was 5,000, she sold about 100. It's like 500K. What would I do to make that 500K? You need to relax, you need to calm down, because it's not your portion at that point in time.
I was just having this conversation with my sister, and the same thing. She says to me, listen, because you're absolutely right. There's this tension that we feel, and it's normal for everybody to feel that way. It's like, oh my God, this person is doing something. And I mean, again, I would go back to this social media. But I've also learned, we need to stop blaming social media for things too. We need to all calm down.
Okay, teach me.
I think,
because I'm one of the people that say social media is the destroyer of a lot of people.
Listen, I agree. But I think, here's the thing here, social media is here to stay. I think, as with everything else in life, you have to decide how the relationship that you want to have with social media. I think you have to try. Social media, what you said right now, you're absolutely right. If you want to face social media, you won't get out of bed. You will not get out of bed.
But I still try to understand how I would watch something online and then apply it to my life when I know that I'm not near them.
But I think that's exactly what you just said right now. You have to remember, and like you said, it's not easy, but you have to recognize that first of all, you have to recognize this thing about it's not your portion, it's not your life. Everybody is in a very different place in their lives. And the reality of it, each and every one of us, we only show what we want to show, not even because we're trying to be fake. I think that's just life. You're not going to expose what is not going so fantastic or wonderful for you. It's not easy to be able to look at every situation and tell yourself that. But I think you have to try to say, with everything that you look at, I don't know these people. I don't know them. I'm seeing what I am seeing, and that's it. I do not know 2 minutes before they posted this video what was going on. I don't know 2 minutes after they posted this video what happened. So this is a conversation I tell myself all the time.
So this is very funny. I didn't think I was very popular. I know people know me, but I didn't think I was. So I was at a party and some lady who was like, oh my God, gorgeous, had everything, said, oh my goodness, I know you. This was years ago when we opened the Kaduna store. Oh my God, I heard your story. You started in Abuja, and then you opened Lagos, and you opened Kaduna. Oh, I hear you're even opening in, she called it Port Harcourt or something. And I was confused. Oh, is this me you're even talking about? So it looks like I was such a success story. She didn't know the epic blunder, the epic failure, because as at that point, Kaduna was about to be shut down.
See life.
After 1 year of operation.
See life.
And I'm like, do I tell her here or do I just wait and it fizzles out on its own? Trust human beings. Trust my brain. Because I thought, I was looking at her like such a successful person. I decided to zippo. I just said, oh, thank you, I was just nice.
So wait, what do you think? We should have said something?
I walked out, realized what had happened to me, and I came back and I said, excuse me, Kaduna is a failure. Kaduna is about to be closed. So when you talk about 41 Luxe, it's just too... I think my conscience just wouldn't let me. Because what happened to me at that point, I think, is what happened social media or maybe mindset. So that's no, I can't blame it on social media, it was just mindset.
Yeah, but I don't know. Do you? Is it all? I don't know. I don't think there's anything wrong with not saying anything to her. Though. I don't think
but I wanted to. What I did was I wanted to glory in the fact that I had 3 brands, I had 3 locations right there and then. But I knew, my husband knew. Well, we were shutting down that weekend. So I said, you know what? Let's just tell the truth. I didn't need to. She would have found out on her own if she was ever in Kaduna or anything that the store wasn't there. So I just came by. I said, you know what? It's not 3 locations, it's actually 2. Because Kaduna was a big failure. And we're shutting down Kaduna.
What did she
I felt good afterwards. She said,
yes.
oh my goodness.
And I want to say that's actually more for you.
Yeah.
And even for her.
Exactly. So I felt so, I was like, hey, this is not good. That wasn't good. It would be nice to know that you have locations in every city, but just be truthful.
Well, that is a gem right there.
Yeah,
that is such a gem right there for you, because you just hit the nail on the head. You didn't have to say anything to her. You did.
And I was going through the hardest time. At that point, I felt like a failure because Kaduna had failed. And so every support that I got from my husband, he will always be the one that knows what's going on. Every support, I go, look, these things happen. And I'm asking him, how do you know these things happen? Are you doing the same business with me? Don't tell me that. Don't tell me that. Don't tell me these things happen. But at that point, the minute I was able to say, this is it, I let go of that hold on the 3rd location. And that was it. I was at peace. So it was easy to transition into.
Which goes to this thing of when do you know, I think we talked about that, when do you decide I'm going to let something go. But I think even beyond that, when do you decide within yourself? So when you say when do you decide to let something go, it's like it can be a very technical, financial, okay, this thing is not working, let's shut it down, let's move on. But when do you decide within yourself beyond the fact that, God, I failed at this thing, or it didn't work? Because I'll be honest with you, there are things that I've done where it's like, you know what, it's not panning out the way that I thought it would. I made a lot of noise about it, I was very excited about it, let's not talk about the money I put into it. And it's like, even when I look and I think even my staff that I've been telling them, this thing is amazing, please, I really need your response to this. I want to hear what, because this is something that I've struggled with very much. You know, it's like, I made a lot of noise about it, I put a lot of, I told people, and not like I didn't tell any people, it's like, I told myself, this is my big, I don't take risks, I took this risk, I did this thing, and then you just expect that you do it, you go through everything, you make all these changes, and you get everybody on board and everybody's excited. And even people that say to you, I don't know that this is such a good idea. And you're like, no. You have your reasons why you spell to them why this is a fantastic idea. You sell it to them. And even when you don't sell it to them, you tell yourself, listen, you guys, we're doing it. Blah, blah, blah. You do it, it doesn't work out. You can see the signs that, listen, this thing is not working out. So beyond even the financial aspect, like, man, how do I forget even the people looking up to you?
Yes.
The people that you get on board with this thing, build this thing, do whatever. How do you at that point say, okay, this thing is not working, let's pivot? How do you have that conversation? How do you keep people up? I don't know.
In business, they will tell you that you have to be brutal in business, right? But at the same time, you have to.
I wanted to find out from you. How, so 41 Luxe, a brand that carries different vendors, like you do everything. Clothes, accessories, shoes, all kinds of things. And you have different vendors that you work with. So as a brand and as the owner of the brand and the person responsible for the brand, how do you manage vendors? So this is two parts. How do you manage vendors? And then I'm curious as to how you manage the vendors and your actually like two different relationships, your customers and then your vendors. Yes. How do you?
So I always tell, I believe in that saying, the customer is also always right, but not entirely. I give you respect, you give me respect. I will satisfy you as much as I can, humanly possible. Give you the best of attitudes. I always hear that people say, oh, they even prefer dealing with my staff. Because your staff are a representation of you. So you will find that most of the girls in 41 Luxe are very timid, total opposite of me. They're very, just gentle, maybe I've done too much on them, that they are just giving off the vibe of being very timid and, so they're always nice. People love and they fall in love with the staff.
Oh, wow.
And naturally maintain a relationship with them. Yes, they're there, they know me, but they will deal with my staff. I try to tell my staff at any point in time, treat people nicely. Let them always have an expectation. You never know. You're not going to end up here. The ideal thing would be a client walks in and says, I'm offering you XYZ, which is times whatever of your. You never know. So I think they always hold on to that hope. And then a lot of times things happen for them through our clients, which everyone is happy about. So you're giving them more. So I think my clients are happy with what they get when they come to 41 Luxe. In terms of the vendors, when I started, I made sure I spoke to every single person personally, because it was my brand, it was my idea. I came with what I wanted. And anyone that had to speak on my behalf had to represent me. Notice I said that my staff do not behave like me. I have some of my staff that have come and gone that were exactly like me. They will force you to buy rubbish. We'll laugh about it later, but then most of them are just timid, nice, quiet, just nice, do everything. They have a relationship with the clientele, but when it comes to me and the vendors, I have to talk to them myself, and if you have to represent me, you have to be like me. Honest and focused. Honest in that we will pay you when we say we're going to pay you. If for any reason something happens, we'll let you know. Something is missing, we'll pay for that item and deal with it internally. So I don't want anyone to ever come and say, oh, this happened and that happened. So it's customer relationship, right? We've maintained a level of honesty, a very open book with all our vendors in that they're comfortable. And it's always word of mouth. You deal with one person, they're happy and they tell their friend and the friend tells a friend. And that's how most of this brands, because when we started, I had only spoken to 12 brands. I've gone to over 70 brands now. It was always word of mouth. Not that we haven't fallen out with some people, but then it wouldn't be something based on not trusting. It's just that things didn't work for them.
I know that's really great. I mean, I think for me,
because I'm very bad with my phone. WhatsApp, I'm always on WhatsApp. I will respond to you, even if it's late at night. I will respond to you. I always try to, and I want to just have access. We brought the designers from Lagos to Abuja and Abuja to Lagos. We just wanted people to have access. So I think I really live that word. I have to give access to everyone that wants to reach me.
So, I wanted to find out from you, when entering into the international market, two questions. One, when did you decide the time was right to enter into the international market, and what would you say were the deciding factors that made you, timing and deciding factors, and as much as you can share or you want to share with us how it's going?
Okay, so a couple of years ago, there was a pop-up at Selfridges with some Nigerian brands, and I thought that was such an amazing idea. Coincidentally, I bumped into a friend of mine, a person who has become a friend of mine who lives in New York, and I was carrying Larry da Silva carrier bag because she had sent some items to the Abuja store from Lagos. And he walks up to me and says, "Oh, I know this brand." And I said, "Yes, she's a Nigerian designer." "Oh, did you just buy clothes?" I said, "No, I sell clothes, so these are some of her things that I'm bringing to my store." And he says, "I've heard of a store called 41 Luxe."
You've never met this before?
No. I've been trying to get them to come and do a pop-up.
What?
In Atlanta or something. I was like, "Oh, well, I know them." And you know them how? I said, "Well, look, I don't like saying this, but I work in 41 Luxe." So he said, "Okay, so can you introduce me to the owner?" I said, "You have to know the owner. Just, you know." So we struck a conversation there at the airport, and when I told him who I was and everything, he was too happy. Got my number, and we continued talking. And so the whole idea was, you know what, you guys need to come to the States, you guys need to do blah, 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 blah. It's so hard communicating with individual brands. And this is a platform. I've been to your stores in Lagos, I've been to your stores in Abuja. This is a platform where you can actually bring people together to the States. While that was happening, we had already said we would do a pop-up in London. Just a pop-up.
Yeah.
Just a 3-month pop-up. So I said to him, "Please do not distract me. I will concentrate on London and then do the States some other time." The truth of the matter is, I know that African fashion has gone everywhere.
Yeah.
I wear a kimono, and everybody, this is a kimono, just a kimono, nothing, just over my jeans and the tank top. Everyone is stopping me on the streets. That's whenever you go anywhere. I know that there's a market for it. I've been discouraged because everyone has said you have to have online presence only. You don't need to open a store. But I know that women at the same time still want to go in and try on whatever it is they're buying. They want to see variety. Because I am based here and labor is more expensive outside the country, having all the items online will not make sense for me. It will be cheaper for me to actually just open up a space, and then that's where the idea of opening up in different locations came up. Being honest in your expectations. What I realize is what's written on paper may not blossom in life as it should. Be honest with your expectations and give room for failure. Give room for change. Allow it to pan out as much as you can. Not that you waste time on it. You were asking the question, when do you know to leave, to exit? I give myself 6 months to 1 year. So that's my own personal choice. 6 months to 1 year, I know if this is going to work or if it's not. I check out, I've moved. Do you understand? The next thing would be my structure. I don't always have to be around. I want the ability to be flexible. I'm doing other things that do not pertain to the store. I have a life outside of the store. So that structure is the most important thing. I think that's the most important lesson actually. So the business runs outside of me. The business functions without me.
So important.
I'm not the face of the business. It helps, but
Yeah.
it can function without me. The third would be taking risks. I'm not afraid of taking risks. I will do it. I'll just step into it, even without thinking.
Yeah. Oh, wow.
Even without thinking. But that's when the fairness comes, right? When there's a failure, you are honest enough to say, maybe I even did this, shouldn't have. But if it blossoms, then thank God.
Well, exactly.
It's what?
That's wonderful.
Yeah. So that's my 3.
I don't know if I don't, but we don't have to record this, but I mean, you know me, this is my own learning, whatever. So from what you said, how do you decide what you're going to take on? So you try lots of different things. How do you decide this is something what makes you say, okay, this is a venture I want to take on?
So it has to be something I'm interested in. Food. I love food. I eat for a living. Like I even say that's me. So why not? I don't like sweet things, but I know that there are a lot of people that I eat with that will always have dessert. I will never have dessert. There's no way. Why not sell the biscuits? I can't make the food. Sell the biscuits. They will come and get it. They will come and buy it. The sweet tooth, they will say we can't live without eating biscuit at night. I'm targeting you people. Do you understand? Meat. I love meat. So I can go 1 week just eating meat, every type of meat. So why not sell the meat? Because I know that there are people like me, people who've met over a meal. Clothing, I love fashion, so why not? So other things that come up are maybe spin-offs from these things.
Okay. Spin-offs, yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
But then I always have to tie it around, because this will be the main thing and what you're doing. So I'm selling biscuits, why not package it as a tea tray? Gifts. Put a couple of biscuits and just because, Van, come on, buy this for Google. Just because. So it's just one thing after the other. But I'm not the type of person that will just delve into electricity. Because they said, oh, in some years to come, it has to be something that I am aware I can sell on my own. Not to say I will not invest in it, because I've invested in some restaurants and then my dividends, but it also goes back to tell you I like food. That's why I invested in this restaurant.
That's very cool. So you actually also invest in
yes,
things.
Oh, there's a hotel. I love hotel living. If you ask me
Hotel
where you want
living,
to stay in that hotel, if I'm investing, chances are that would be the first place I would want to spend. If people ask me where can I stay, I would recommend that, and I know that I can get my own cut from it.
Awesome.
So investing is very important. That's another thing. Invest in little other things outside of your main core, because those people that are experts in that angle can make money for you. So where this is,
how do you do that though? Because that's something that, the whole investing thing,
taking
risk is a risk.
That's the risk. You take a risk.
Because investing is like, is this another thing I have to come and be micromanaging? What are you doing with my money? What's the energy?
So you have to invest in clearly defined business prospects. I do not want to have anything to do with it. I want to sit down, if you're giving me a guarantee that you give me XYZ a month, I know that my credit is being paid from this business every month. Then I'm fine. Not to say that there will be ups and downs, but you have to be able to, and do not invest what you know you can't live without. It's like borrowing money.
Or you can't give up. So yeah, it's like maybe it doesn't work out.
It's like borrowing money, so I'll never borrow money. Don't come and let me, no. I can dash you what I can.
This is for me, I'm like that.
That's not, I don't care how close you are.
No. I'm with you on that one. I'm with you on that one. Because I'm not chasing anybody for money. So I give you what I know I can.
And you know what, to fight with anybody over money,
this is it.
That's the worst angle.
Yeah.
Halima Yunusa, everyone calls me Tata. I'm still trying to get people, I think my New Year's resolution will get people to call me Halima.
No, I don't think that
like a serious human being.
I wish you the best with that.
Everyone calls me Tata. I am managing partner at 41 Luxe Concepts. We have 2 stores in Abuja and in Lagos. We stock about 56, as of the last time I counted, Nigerian brands in one roof, ranging from clothing, accessories, and lifestyle products. Our intention or our plan for next year is to provide more locations around the world, and one in Nigeria, an additional one in Nigeria by God's grace.